We've all seen the ads, right? Sign up for this credit card and get a mountain of points, cash back, free flights, maybe even fancy hotel stays. It honestly sounds like the best deal ever, getting rewarded just for buying the stuff you were gonna buy anyway.
But that kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are these rewards actually free? I mean, if banks are just handing out all these amazing perks, how are they still some of the most profitable companies on the planet? Okay, let's really dig into this.
So on the surface, what you see is all the flashy stuff, the points, the cashback, the flights, but underneath all that, there's a hidden truth. The entire system is built on a foundation of debt, sky-high interest rates, and all sorts of fees. It's actually designed to make you overspend. We see the story they want us to see, but the real story is how the system actually works.
To really understand the traps, we first have to get back to basics. And the single most important thing to remember is this. When you use a credit card, you are not spending your own money. This is the critical difference between a debit card and a credit card. When you swipe your debit card, that money is pulled directly from your bank account. It's your cash. But with a credit card, you're not spending your money, you're borrowing the bank's money. And that's all credit really is. It's just a form of borrowing. Every single time you swipe that card, you're taking out a tiny, instant, short-term loan from the bank, a loan that you've promised to pay back. It feels super fast and easy, but make no mistake, it is a loan.
And that whole loan thing, that's exactly where the hidden traps start to appear. This is how the system makes sure that even with all the rewards they're giving away, the house always wins.
So, picture this. You get your bill at the end of the month. It says you owe $1,000. But wait, look closely. The bank gives you two numbers, the full balance, and then this other, tiny, much less scary number called the minimum payment. Here, it's just $25. And this, my friends, is the first and by far the most effective trap.
Why is it so effective? Because millions and millions of people fall for it. They pay that small minimum, they don't get a late fee, and they feel like they're doing the right thing. But the rest of that balance, it just rolls over to the next month, and that's when the interest starts piling on like crazy. And this isn't some small issue. By 2025, Americans will have over $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. That's a staggering number. And the difference in cost is just massive. If you pay that $1,000 balance in full, you pay zero interest. Nothing. But if you just stick to that little $25 minimum payment each month, you could end up paying hundreds, maybe even thousands of extra dollars in interest on that one purchase. And all of that, that's pure profit for the bank.
But you might be thinking, well, I'm responsible. I always pay my bill in full, so that trap doesn't apply to me. I'm just gaming the system and collecting rewards. Well, that's where the second trap comes in. The rewards themselves, they're bait. Their entire purpose is to psychologically nudge you into spending more money than you would have otherwise.
Let's just do some quick math on one of those free flights. Say you buy a new phone for $1,000 and you get, 2,000 points for it. Sounds pretty good, right? But then you look it up and a basic domestic flight costs 25,000 points. You'd have to spend over $12,000 just to earn that one flight. Suddenly that free reward doesn't feel so free anymore, does it?
And get this, there's another hidden cost. Every time you swipe your card, the bank charges the store a little something called a swipe fee. Now, to cover these fees, a lot of stores just raise their prices on everything by a little bit. And the result? Even people who pay with cash are unknowingly helping to pay for your free credit card rewards.
Okay, so if this system is kind of designed to get you to overspend and maybe even get into debt, why do so many of us play the game? A huge part of the answer lies in this one little 3-digit number called your credit score.
Think of your credit score as your financial report card. It's basically a trust rating for lenders. A high score tells them you're really good at borrowing money and paying it back. A low score, well, it tells them you're a bit of a risk.
And this score has a huge impact on your real life. It's not just about getting a loan for a car or a house. Your score can decide whether a landlord will rent you an apartment, it can affect how much you pay for car insurance, and it can even be a factor in getting approved for certain jobs. The whole system makes you feel like you have to borrow money just to prove you're trustworthy. All right, so we know the system is full of traps. It's pretty clear. But a credit card, at the end of the day, is just a tool. And like any tool, it can be used the right way. So how do you win the game without falling for the tricks?
The biggest difference really just comes down to your mindset. Most people use credit cards to spend money they don't actually have yet. But financially savvy people, they use them as a simple payment tool to get benefits on spending they were already planning to do, all without ever carrying debt. And you can do the exact same thing by following 3 simple golden rules. Rule number 1, always, and I mean always, without exception, pay your balance in full every single month. Do that, and interest becomes totally irrelevant. 2, only buy things you could afford to pay for right now with cash sitting in your bank account. And 3, especially if you're just starting out, just get a simple card with no annual fee. You don't need fancy perks, just need a simple tool.
So here's the bottom line. A credit card can be a useful tool, for sure, but it is not a gift, which really leaves us with one last question to chew on. If these cards and all their rewards are truly a gift to you, why do banks have to work so hard to push them on you? In your mailbox, at the mall, everywhere you look. Because if someone's trying that hard to give you something, it's probably not a gift.